A young Knoxville family is paying a lot of money for what they call a substandard apartment.
Yeah, they called 6 on Your Side consumer reporter Don Dare to show him what they're dealing with. Don.
Well, Bo and Ella, what we saw appear to be violations of the Landlord-Tenant Act. Provisions in the act require habitable and safe dwelling. For example, the home being free from hazards and steps being taken by the landlord to make repairs. The renters we met say they have none of that.
You want to go to the McDonald's park?
Michaela Phillips is like all mothers. She wants a safe, clean place for her kids, but that's not what she and the father of her children have. They live at Bramblewood Townhomes and Apartments in Knoxville. Their lease for $975 a month was signed in late February. But there are problems. For example, there's no hot water. This video shows a rat skittering across the kids' bedroom. The apartment's back porch is dangerous. It's collapsed. Their refrigerator, it isn't cold enough, and there's more.
So the AC has not worked. We have not had heat or air the whole time we've been here. They were supposed to be changing ports for it, and it's just been left completely open, wires exposed, and still has not been repaired.
Everything in here is bad. It'll go in and out, and we've told them multiple times about it. Every single thing in here has de-thawed, re-thawed, because it keeps on just going in and out. Sometimes it'll leak, and that's what this is for. It tore the whole floor up from it leaking.
Because of the leak? Mm-hmm. We noticed management had closed the pool at the complex. What we saw behind the locked gates were appliances. There are a lot of them, and they're exposed to the elements.
This is one of the fruits that they just brought us, but they have an old pool down there that's filled with old refrigerators, and they just pull it out of there and bring it to us, and we clean all the mold out. Like, actually, there's still stuff that hasn't came off.
Mikey Johnson says apartment management moved their stove into the center of the kitchen more than a week ago. And the electric burners, they don't work because the stove is unplugged.
They told us they were going to get us a new one, but they said they will not be putting a new stove in here until the rat problem is gone.
Where are the rats coming in?
There was a hole right here, and the pest control told us that's where they were coming in from.
A hole in the kitchen ceiling has not been repaired yet.
When we first moved in, we had a water leak that we didn't know about and that maintenance didn't catch.
The leak was fixed, but the cardboard remains.
We've had to go stay places because of there's been rats. We've had to go places to cook.
The apartment has water, but Michaela says there's no hot water. That's likely because the water heater isn't working properly. In the children's bedroom, we asked about the rats that were caught on camera.
They're coming in right here underneath the wall. They're in the whole building, really. There's basically been an infestation.
Outside, there is a dangerous problem with the porch.
So when we moved in, it was unlevel. I tried to jack it up and put some boards under it just to make it a little bit safer. But now the trusses underneath have completely snapped in half.
We called the apartment office for response to these issues last week.
Thank you for calling McSpadden Real Estate Services Incorporated. To leave a message for Bramblewood Apartments and Townhomes, press 101.
That mailbox is full.
However, we caught up with the landlord later by phone. Jim McSpadden blamed the issues on Michaela and Mikey, saying they created the problems. He said they accepted the apartment as is when they moved in 3 months ago. And he said the couple stopped paying their rent recently. Mr. Johnson admits he has not paid May's rent because nothing has been fixed. But he says he did pay March and April's rent. For Michaela, all she wants is a safe place for her children.
I want to be able to cook for my kids. I want to be able to not have to worry about where my kids sleep so they don't get bit by rats.
Now, under state law, landlords must make necessary repairs and take steps to keep their property habitable. But it seems like that's not going to happen for Mikey and Michaela. The landlord tells us since the couple knew the problems, they accepted the unit as is, and he said they made the apartment worse, creating even more issues, and they are behind in their rent. But as Mikey and Michaela told us, they asked that repairs be made, but then they gave up and held back their rent for May. Finally, the landlord told us he will begin legal proceedings to evict the couple very soon. Bo?
We'll have to see how this plays out. Don, thank you. You know, if you have a consumer question for Don, send him an email at ddare@wat.com. You can also give him a call at 865-633-6923.